Dead Static had reached its fifth anniversary this October, actually, as you're probably watching this. If not, yeah, the fifth anniversary came on October 27th for Dead Static, and I just figured, as my fiance and I have done a horror podcast for the last almost 3 years now, and speaking with people of directors, writers, everybody who've done their own things, one of the things that kept going is like they kept mentioning about if you have a cell phone, everybody can make their own movie. So that's what I set out to do. And what happened actually was we ended up doing a Kickstarter, which raised enough money to actually get us better equipment. So instead of filming on a phone, we ended up getting a 4K camera. The passenger Vermont Urban Legend actually came from a real ghost tale that I heard back in middle school, if not maybe a little bit of like maybe preschool or something. Just one of those stories that you would tell around a campfire, but in this case it was just October. Everybody likes scary stories, and that's kind of how I heard of it. But it wasn't just one particular way of it. I've heard probably two or three different ways, and that's how it came to be. And one of the other things too that I will mention before I forget is the area where we filmed is also known to have this mysterious voices that can be heard over the swamp, whether it be daylight or nighttime. The cast and crew was selected because of people I've worked with. You may recognize Flora from Dead Static, who played Emily on Emily's Bridge, and she was the main character on the tale that I was even in, Pittsford Haunted House. Well, let's see here. It took probably 4 days, if not a little bit more. Editing is a whole new different story because we did have some already shot, but because we got better equipment, we had to do some more. And what I mean by more is we actually had to go back to reshoot stuff, so we had to reshoot practically everything. And as for finishing up, it took maybe a month or so. Seeing everybody doing a really great job, having their own freedom of creativity, because this is for fun. This wasn't anything serious. Nobody got paid. It was all volunteer work, and that's just the way it should be. It was just pretty much friends making something spooky, and that's just the way it should be.
My name is Tessa Baker, and I played the lady in white.
Hi, my name is Jason Lorefice. I play the killer Brad. I'm also the author of the book Vermont Bigfoot Encounters and Beyond.
So my name is Jeremy Pratico, and I played the male driver.
I am Katie Kenworthy, and I am a special effects makeup artist.
No, I haven't acted in anything before, but I did used to do haunted houses with my cousin Brian. I was in it for 2 years in a row. I played as a psychotic sanitarium nurse 1 year called Nurse Eve Bola, haha. And then the second year I participated, I was a dark occult witch named Lilith.
I have, actually. You might have seen me in the Travel Channel's documentary, America's Scariest Places. They did a film segment on the Bennington Triangle. I've done a couple of paranormal documentaries along the side. So I've done a few things alongside.
So I've acted a little bit before. I was on a reality show called Building Wild, where they came in and built a log cabin for me, but that wasn't really acting because it was reality. But that TV show played all over the world, so I got some good exposure there. And my buddy Charlie has been doing some short movies as well that I've been in. They're sci-fi movies, so it's really different. But I enjoy it. I love being part of the process.
Yes, I worked on Dead Static, a local film by Dead Fi Productions. I've also done some local theater things here in Vermont.
No, I did not until you told me about it.
I've heard briefly some little stories about it, but I wasn't really detail orientated on the whole story. No.
I didn't know about the ghost hitchhiker story on Marble Street. I learned just through the Everything Horror podcast and you telling me and seeing your posts online, and now it's like super cool to be part of it. And you hear this background story and you're like, oh wow, I never knew that even existed, and now here I am part of it. So that was super cool.
I did not. No.
Well, nobody really has heard of this one, to be honest. As Tessa probably mentioned in her interview, that she did not. A lot of people did not even know that this story existed, so I figured, why not bring this particular type of Vermont urban legend to life?
The fact that we're actually filming on the location of the folktale, and evidently the swamp wants to put in their 2 cents as well.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every minute of it. I think we did touch on the murder scene, whether it was an urban legend or if it was something that actually did happen, or whether it was a cold case file. I think we did a pretty good job.
I think if you're going to film this, there's no better way to film than on location of where it happened. Like, it doesn't... Why would you record somewhere else and it wouldn't be as legit? Here, I mean, it's real. Like, I was actually looking as I was in the car driving for the ghost as we were recording. Like, hey, you never know. So it was super cool to record on location.
I don't know how to answer that one.
I enjoyed playing my role. It was very interesting. It's been a while since I have been able to be creepy and scary, and it just felt good to get out of the box, per se.
I enjoyed it. It was different. I never did play a killer before, but in a morbid kind of way, I enjoyed it.
How did you feel about your role?
I really liked my role. Something about being like the good guy, I guess, that that I wasn't out killing anybody, or it was just kind of cool to be like, have that character that's so blindfolded and doesn't believe in any of the stuff that's happening, but then being part of it, and you can kind of see like coming around to, oh wow, he must believe now, because after all the stuff he's going through, and oh wow, so that was entertaining.
Pretty confident. It's always a challenge, so you never know what's going to happen. So just got to stay on your toes and take it as it comes.
I feel that I did. I feel very confident in my role. I did it quite well, and it was just really fun to do. She was really fun to play, and hopefully I did her character justice.
I would hope so. If I gave it any more, I'd be killing her in real life.
It's so much fun. I know during recording we had a lot of laughs, and our joke between the three of us was we should be recording a comedy instead of a horror movie, because we did a good amount of laughing. It was really tricky to go from being silly and laughing to being scared or confused or whatever part the role played. I'd like to think I gave my all, but overall I'm a silly person anyway, so it really takes some focus to put myself in that headspace.
I like to think so.
Mm-hmm.
I do a podcast with Paul, so we kind of work together in a way, even though it's a hobby that we do together, but to actually be directed by him and have him be, I guess, the boss was definitely an interesting experience to take direction from him. But overall, I believe he did an amazing job.
Worked with him before. I think he's got some good innovative ideas when it comes to reenactments and recreations.
So I've known Paul almost his entire life. So when this whole thing came up, you know, I remember him when he was a little kid playing with him, and it was just, I've loved him since then. So to come back full circle to, you know, hey, you want to be in one of my short films, was like, whoa, super cool. And he's so laid back and so easygoing. You know, I keep telling him, yell at me, tell me to do something differently. And he'd be like, no, that's chill, man, that's cool. So to work with him was just incredible. Super, super great guy.
These guys are great. It's always fun working with Paul, and I haven't worked with Tessa before, but it's a lot of fun. But I have worked with Paul on a couple projects, so.
Definitely check out The Passenger. It's definitely worth it, and we all worked very hard on it, and he brought us all together to make something great, and I support him in anything and everything he does.
No, I just hope everyone enjoys the video.
I tell you, if you get the chance to support one of Paul's films, do it. I mean, he does a ton for people that support him, and it is above and beyond what most people do. So, you know, listen to his podcasts, Everything Horror, like super fun, super cool, a lot of knowledge in it. Like you won't be sad you did it. So, you know, support Paul and all this stuff as much as you can, and that's it. Hopefully we'll see you on that round next time.
Yeah, hope you enjoy all the good stuff. Can't wait to see.
Yes, because I probably forgot to mention it during the cast and crew part, but before, like, you know, for two, I forgot to mention, like, Katie did the practical effects that you see in The Passenger. Katie also acted and did practical effects in Dead Static, and that's how I met her. And then me and Katie went and did one more short together with the old crew. And yeah, that's how it really came to be. Everybody else was just pretty much friends, and I know a lot of people get shit on when it comes to friends helping friends make a film, but the way I look at it is I'd rather have people I trust who I know who would get the job done versus some random person that I'd never met and I don't even know what they look like. Or not look like, but man, that's a freaky thing too. But that's another topic. But really, it's just more of like, I've never really seen what they can do. So yeah, that's just really it. And as for everything else, just make sure you check out everybody else's work, not just my stuff. So check out everybody else's.